Oh, now I can go now?
Yeah, you can go.
Is it rolling now?
Yeah, it's rolling.
It is? All right, okay. So, you know the song Wheels on the Bus? Yeah, it's not a bus, and wheels don't go around that well, so that's what we're working on today.
So our issue today is that we took this thing for a drive again. The tune-up is working pretty well. What do you think? Tune-up good?
Tune-up pretty good.
Pretty good. We ran 60 mile an hour. I'll take that. But there's definitely the front end's dragging real bad. Plus, it's the original wheel cylinders, or what I think to be the original wheel cylinders. The brakes need gone through and cleaned. I'm pretty sure the driver's side is leaking, make it a soft pedal problem, and we need to bleed them. So we're going to go through front brakes today, and we're taking these bias plies off, and hopefully they never go back on the truck again.
I will say this. It is a little bit rough with the front where it's sticking, but compared to the last trip we did into it with no air in the airbags.
Yeah, it rides a lot better there in the airbags.
Yeah, that was kind of like, everyone has an experience depending on where you live, but you know the old county fair whenever they'd bring in, and it was probably the early 90s, and you had that one at the roller coaster, you're looking at it and
you're losing
everything held together with just a little piece of pipe that's like 1/4 inch. Yeah, it felt like that. It was great.
So let's get this thing up in the air and show you how we take these with the Dayton style wheels off of it and explain these split rims and what we're going to. Kagan, show these lovely people how a Dayton wheel comes off. Like, it helps if you keep the socket on the nut.
Yeah. Why do I feel we are working with grade A equipment here, aren't we?
Well, it helps if you don't necessarily completely take the nut off at first with the socket. And now it's off for good.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
You know that judging distance thing?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that good at it.
So these right here are the keepers, and these keepers bolt onto the wheel, and this right here keeps it aligned with the spoke, and this grabs a hold of the wrench and pinches it.
I got a question.
What?
Do keepers mean they keep it on?
Yes, they do. So now, every single one of these has got to come off.
I know that.
I'm not talking to you.
Man.
And so right now the wheel is resting on the spokes themselves, because the spokes themselves have a pad that sets against the outside of the wheel.
I'm looking at this, and I don't think there's any pad left.
Oh yeah, that pinch is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I'll show you how to tighten these up right whenever we put the new ones on. Okay, now Kagan's going to try and lift that off the Dayton and down where he can set it on the floor. He was curious how heavy that was.
Kagan is going to do no such thing.
Just going to drop it?
Yeah, I'm going to cheat. Oh, man.
Now don't hurt yourself, Kagan.
Yep, cheated.
Cheated?
No pad.
All right, give it here. So this wheel has a, right here's your valve stem. This has got an inner tube in it, because this tire is not a tubeless tire and wheel setup. This right here, you see this split right here, and it actually is a 2-piece rim. This is what they call a split rim. When you go to air these up, if you don't have this catch right, it'll blow this ring off there, and it has seriously hurt and even killed some people. They call these things Widowmakers. We've been tooling around on them. I don't want to run these to Indiana because this is not good. These are old tires, old inner tubes. I don't want to take it apart, put new inner tubes in it, try and air it back up. I'm done with it. So them wheels that you see me paint in one of the last episodes of the show, we're going to take and have them put new tires on them and bring them here tomorrow morning, which will be in this video. But yeah, so we're going to roll these out of the way someplace and decide if we want to sell these, turn these into fire rings, or what I want to do with them, because I'm not running them anymore.
Man, we need some light. That's better.
Okay, so yes, somewhere back here in the garage, we actually have a socket this big. And I know what you're thinking, like, man, what kind of guns it take to run that? Well, I'm going to show you, because even though I've got the socket, we're going to use this big old pair of channel locks here, because all this is a cap. That's it. It's not really a nut. It's just a cap with some fine threads in it that covers this right here. And so now I'll reach over here and grab these needle nose. I'm going to take this keeper, this castle nut with a pin in it. I'm going to straighten this pin out back here, and then I should be able to get a hold of it pretty easy, I think.
Oh, while you're thinking about that, I'm thinking about lunch.
Kagan's always thinking about lunch.
That's fair.
Okay. That is not coming off as easy as I want it to, but there we go.
What was this about this being so easy?
Oh, it's a piece of cake. Okay, that's out. Now, a socket would be nice, but once again, this shouldn't be all that tight. It should be a little tight, but not too tight. You should be able to get, because if it was really tight, then the wheel would never want to turn. Now we're just going to take that nut, and I got the grease on me.
Better than the anti-seize.
We don't need that right now. And then this,
that looks fun.
okay. So now there's a bearing on the outside of that was right here, and here's your inner bearing and the rear seal, which should have stayed in that, and it didn't. Yeah. But my brakes look good. Plenty of pad. These aren't too bad on this side. Looks like this wheel cylinder here might have been leaking a little bit, but they're all sticking. So we're going to take these off. Now this is really cool because this particular truck has got 2 wheel cylinders, one that pushes each direction. But my springs and assembly and everything looks good, so I should be able to reuse most of what's here. I just want to change the wheel cylinders. So we'll get this side done, then we'll go to the other side because I think the other side is in worse shape.
There's only 2 springs in there.
Yeah. And you know what? Probably our biggest problem is these soft lines back here, which are probably the originals, are probably collapsed on the inside. Yeah, those are a problem too. We're going to change those. So, got the grease on me. I'm going to go get some stuff to take this apart. All right, so here's part of the problem we're dealing with. I can kick this thing back to where it's somewhat square again. There we go. So this particular wheel right here, I can turn it, but I got to put all my weight on. That's not so bad, but it's hanging up something awful, like right in there. And we're pretty sure that's the side that's sticking due to the brakes. We haven't took it off yet. But if you look, the outside of that drum right there has been hot on this one. So, for whatever reason, that's the one when I'm hitting the brakes, I think it stays stuck all the time. This one over here.
Oh, okay.
Now we got to snug the brakes up a little bit. We got to bleed them first because I got to make 2 hard lines because obviously we broke the 2 old hard lines on the back. But the new soft line's in right there. So
what are you talking about, we?
Well, I broke the two hard lines. So we got brake line, we got the ends. We'll fix it. So next we got to go over to this end and take it off. I got to pack the bearings and see what's leaking over here and replace that soft line because that's all good time. Yeah, but the new wheel cylinders are on the other side, so we're not quite 50% done, but we're working on it now. So I got to go make a couple hard lines. Okay, so last video you guys seen was from yesterday. Today is a Monday morning. I'm not at work. Well, not morning anymore. It's afternoon now. I'll get this straight in a minute. So the biggest problem we've been having is this is an old cylinder, wheel cylinder, and this is a new one. Okay, and if you look, this one, I don't know how I can get the light in there, but see there's a flare fitting there, and this is where the bleeder came out. This one here, I've got the bleeder over on the other side, but both sides are a bubble style fitting. You can't really see down in there, but I'm gonna set this one down. So obviously the connection is not the same. But the problem is it is still a 7/16 by 20 thread. It's the same as the bleeder screw. You could put it in either side, it doesn't matter. I was able to go to a local auto parts store and find 4 of these, which are adapters. These adapters are 7/16 by 20 thread. They are a bubble flare on the end. The problem is I had to take the machine, I had to take the lathe, and you can see I had to machine right here on the nut a little bit to get it to clear, because when I set that in there, screw it in. If I hadn't machined that, the nut would be touching the face, and now it's got a good seat all the way. So now I've got that. Now this is still a bubble end, but it is for a 3/16 line, which this was originally 1/4 inch line. This should be fine for the trip we're doing, but this is the only fittings I could get a hold of. So this right here, I can make this bubble end right here, and this is a 24 threads per inch. So this is fittings that we can get a hold of. Why that is a 20 threads per inch instead of a 24 in there. If that had been that way, we could have just made a bubble flare on it, and that might have worked with 1/4 inch line. Regardless, this is how we're getting this together now, right, wrong, or indifferent. So I get to put these on. So yeah, I got work to do and brake lines to make. So okay, so this is the difference in tire. This is the one that came off the truck, and yes, I know it was pretty bold, even though it did have grooves down in the sides, but this is the tire that's going on the truck. Now, we gained some width, it's a little wider. It's also going to be a little shorter. Keep in mind, these ones are wore out, these are brand new, and even still, it's a little shorter. So I expect to drop in the front of the truck, I don't know, about a 1/2 inch at least. Probably at least a 1/2 inch lower on the front of the truck, maybe more. But yes, these right here are some good straight tread steer tires, and these right here are the old bias ply junk, and those things are, they shape funny and they're oblong and they don't sit right on the rim, and this right here will do all that better. So we'll get this other one mounted up on the truck. Okay. Now it's just time to line it up. I got one of the tires on there, and I'll show you putting the other one on because it's a bear. And I skinned up some of my paint on my rim. I'll touch back up with a paintbrush or something if I decide to care that much. So what I'm doing right now is I've got this extension. I've got it laid on this milk crate right here. Okay? And I've got it over really close to the rim. And I kind of got a general start before I done this. But on these Dayton wheels, it's important to roll the rim around. And I'm going to make sure that if I get a spot that's tight, I got to get in there where I can see. Right there's a little tighter than anywhere else. And so this nut right here, so I'm going to bring it back around here where I can get to it real easy. By the way, the hubs are rolling very easy now. And I'll tighten it a little bit. And then I'll continue on. I'll try and find the next place that's closed because that's going to create it to be lopsided on another side or something. So right there is close on that one. And I'm just going to keep doing that until these are really tight. But that's going to center that rim on that hub, and on Dayton wheels that's extremely important because you can get them on there to where they are not very centered and they will ride terrible down the road. Not that these are the greatest riding wheels anyways, but I heard it right there. That's my next one. So I just go around and keep doing this until they're all tight. I moved the tire some. I got a thing steers real easy when you've got it off the ground like this. So I'm gonna keep doing this. This will take me a while, but I'm gonna get them all tight and make sure it's centered on there real well all the way around. Well, I'm back in the garage after a test drive. And I really wish it set a little lower in the front end, but it doesn't. It'll be what it is for now. It will eventually, because it squats a little in the back end. I don't particularly care for that. But the wheels are kind of dirty and skinned up, which is fine. It fits the motif of it. But man, it drives good now. It'll run 55 mile an hour real easy. You can get it to run 60 if you keep your foot in it, but you're not getting good fuel mileage that way, obviously. Not that that's a major issue, but will be on the trip. So with that being said, let's go look at the board. The IH. So I got excited earlier when I was in here without the camera on and marked off new tires on the front because those are new tires. And something else we can mark off is front brakes done, everything's good. The entire brake system, we bled it out. It's good to go. Everything's fine with it. And I done an oil change while I was at it. Okay, things are finally starting to get marked off. So I kind of think maybe the oil gauge started working. I don't know yet. So that one might take care of itself. We might have to change it out. I still don't have a temperature gauge. Temperature gauge does not work. That is important for this trip, so I have to do something. The next weekend, I'm probably going to work on air management and some electric at the same time. And I should be able to finish the gas tank so I have the fittings in for it, because that's all I'm waiting on it. Guys, we're making progress. Today is July the 7th. The 16th, this thing's headed for Indiana. So we'll see. So do the whole like and subscribe thing for me, and we'll see how much more of this list I can get done between now and August the 16th. Great. August 16th is leave day, not have it done by that day, although that's probably the way I'll do things. So guys, we'll see you until the next one.